can you just introduce yourself and kind of tell us what the Brazos Valley Tree Farm is?
The Brazos Valley Tree Farm is trees in the local valley. We have many trees as far as from live oak trees to cypress trees, red oaks. We have about 50 different trees, all the way from fruit trees to avocado trees to many other type of trees, pine trees, magnolia trees, and the best one we have is crepe myrtles. You know, they're very popular here at Brazos Valley Tree Farm, and we love the color that they put off during the spring. So we sell a lot of trees in the springtime, crepe myrtles. So let me tell you about myself. I'm a local builder, Oakwood Custom Homes. I've been building in the Brazos Valley for 45 years. And we also own different types of other businesses in the Brazos Valley. We do land development, all types of rental properties and stuff. So let me tell you a little bit about the Christmas at the Tree Farm. The Christmas at the Tree Farm is a bunch of lights. We just thought one day that the Brazos Valley needed something like a drive-through. So most people were saying, hey, we missed this drive-through. So we created, the first year, we created about 3/4 of a mile of lights. This year we created 1.6 miles of lights. And tell you what, there's many, many lights out here. So let's walk over here to the tunnel of lights here. And as you can see, there's a big tunnel here. We have 3 big tunnels of lights in the park, and we encourage y'all to bring your children out. We have hay rides. The hay rides are for the kids and the family. It's $20 to get on the hay ride for the adult and $10 for the children. And then everybody under 3 years old, children are under 3, are free. But we have arts and crafts down there at the city. We have a little small city or country city that you can buy your, have some fun. We have a T-model candy machine with hot chocolate and s'mores. And the crafts are kind of like doing plates with Christmas at the Tree Farm or Christmas 2021, you know, souvenirs to bring home. That's all inclusive with the trip with the hayride. The hayride includes the 1.6 miles and the trip through the town. We also have Santa Claus down there. Santa Claus and his elves. His elves are helpers, but we give you can take pictures of yourself with your cameras and stuff. And we have a beautiful lake out here that with many lights around the lake. So as you see, we'll start this trip around the tree farm.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about the differences between shade and flowering trees?
A shade tree is kind of a tree that will grow widthwise, and then eventually they'll grow upward, but they bring a like an umbrella type effect for you. A flowering tree is more of a tree like a magnolia tree, where they bloom. A crepe myrtle tree that is beautiful in the springtime. It just blooms out with a bunch of blossoms. And there are other types of trees that do, you got a cottonwood that kind of brings a little bit of cotton out that is pretty in the springtime.
What trees do you recommend to plant around the Bryan College Station region?
Our most popular tree is a live oak tree because it's green all year round, and it grows really good in this area. But we have cypress trees that are very green. They do spread out too. They bring a lot of green. They're really heavy into green. It's pretty in the springtime and summer. The pine tree grows straight up, kind of with branches. It's not a very shaded tree. It's more of a pretty deep green tree.
Okay, can you kind of tell us a little bit about how the process goes with the trees?
Yeah, for a tree like this, we start with a seedling, you know, and it's about this tall. And we actually put it into a 1 gallon bucket. Then it gets transferred to a 5 gallon bucket. Then the 5 gallon bucket gets in a 15 gallon bucket. As they grow, we stuff them into a bucket so that they can control themselves into that ball. So one gets this big. This is 6 to 7 years, and as you can see, it's about a 5 to 6 inch tree. And as it grows, we have to prune the trees up so the trees grow faster. Whereas this one over here grew up faster because we pruned it up. So if you prune a tree, it'll grow a lot quicker, a lot faster to the earth, to the sky. An elm tree is very popular in this area, and they're real drought driven. So those are very good in this area. The pecan tree is a very nice tree, and we try to get native pecan trees in Texas, so they grow very well, and also puts out pecans. The crepe myrtle tree is a gorgeous where it blooms all spring and summer.
And what time of year do you usually get pecans?
Pecans kind of come in summertime. They may come out in the spring, but they begin to ripen in the summertime, and you get that once a year. That you will go and pick pecans. They either drop or you have a machine that shakes them, and then they drop from the shaking.
So would you say around August, September, early September is when you probably get the most pecans from your trees?
Yes, it could be. Like I said, it's summertime and all the way up through August, where the heat is a little bit more warm in this area.
Awesome. Okay, so other than those kinds of trees, lots of people are interested in having fruit trees in their gardens and backyards. So what kind of fruit trees do you recommend?
I love the citrus trees like oranges, grapefruit, lime, lemon. They're very good in this area as far as growing. They do not like cold, so you need to take care of them when we have real cold temperatures. The avocado tree is pretty common around here. A lot of people like the avocado, but they like warm climate. So in the wintertime, you need to really take care of those. If we get below 30 to 32 degrees. The fig is a beautiful tree. If you like to can fig, it's very good. The pears grow good around here, and apples. A little bit harder on the apples because it needs more of a drier climate. Now we're here at the Bazos Valley Tree Farm, and this is really where it happens. We actually have this manger area over here for the light show. So we have right behind that is where all the trees are planted. So we take the trees and put them in 1 gallon buckets to 5-gallon buckets. Then we go to a 15-gallon bucket, and the tree grows, and it's a process about every 6 months, or it'll get moved up until it goes into a 200-gallon bucket, and that's the largest ones we have. Those are about 5 to 6 inches in round and about 14 to 15 feet tall. But we'd like you to come out to the Brazos Valley Tree Farm to visit us. We have a large 50-foot or 60-foot light of trees. And right around the corner is an amazing flag that is 43 feet wide and 23 feet high, with the celebrating our freedom here in the United States.
So now that we have these trees, what are some of the steps that we need to do, or what are some of the products we need to properly take care of a tree?
Well, we certainly need to water them. We can't forget about water. Definitely, when you first plant a tree, it needs to be watered twice a day, at least twice a day, and not overwatered, because if you overwater, you might get water rot in the bottom of the tree, and that's not good for it. It'll die from that. But putting it in the ground properly, you need to make the hole 1.5 times bigger than the tree itself. It's good to stake your tree so that the wind doesn't blow it, so the roots can kind of get rooted into the soil. You need to fertilize twice a year, one time for the springtime to just put more nitrogen and phosphate into the soil, and then actually put a release type high nitrogen fertilizer to maintain the growth of it once a year. And then in the wintertime, we would like to put a winterizing type root fertilizer so the roots can grow in the wintertime. The tree really grows a lot in the wintertime, so we need to make sure that we still give it plenty of water.
Another thing is space. So what kind of space does someone need to have in order to plant a tree?
Well, most landscapers recommend about 20 to 25 feet away from each other. So you don't want to crowd them, because they grow and they'll start growing into each other. So, but if you also have to prune them to keep them in shape too, so that they don't grow together. This way that they'll grow higher. Keep them about 3/4 of the way pruned, and that needs to be done once a year at least.
Okay, and something you were talking to me about earlier was grafting. So what is that?
Well, grafting is when you want to take a good tree and you cut little pieces about 6 inches long, and you take a root system that's been in the ground, and you can do it over and over, and you cut the graft into the old tree, and then put the new one in it, and so that it grows with a good fruit, and you can have a very blossoming fruit tree. Or you can even actually take one oak tree to a different type of oak tree if you wanted more of a hybrid type tree. So grafting is good when you wanted to make the tree more fruitful.
So it's like taking the best qualities of two different trees and putting them together. So already having that established root system to start a new tree for better fruit, or pecans or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. I mean, on pecan trees, it's very good because you can take a real high producing pecan tree with good flavor and that, and you can graft it into an older tree that doesn't have the type of quality that you're asking for. So, and you can take one tree and make many trees out of that. So it's got some advantages.
And then, is there any additional comments you want to make?
Y'all just come out to the tree farm. I really appreciate y'all's coming out here because I built it for the city. But we're out in the country. We're on Welborn Road, going toward Milliken, and we're about 1.5 mile past Milliken Reserve on the left-hand side. But we really enjoy this. People come out all the time, and they enjoy the hay rides. They enjoy the little town that we built with all the activities with Santa, and don't forget about the Santa's playland. So y'all come on out, and we love y'all's visit and make comments. We love to build this thing into a little bit larger park one day, and give back to the Brazos Valley here. And we're at Brazos Valley Tree Farm at Christmas at the Tree Farm. Come and see us. Thank you.